celebrating some special occasion, and the priest that was there, he was known for being very direct. He spoke his mind, he said what he felt, and at the end of the celebration, the bishop asked the priest, "How was my homily?" And the priest said, "Bishop, it was very short." And the bishop said, "Well, I try to keep it short, so I don't want it to be too tiresome." And the priest said, "Well, it was tiresome too." We find so many excuses. We try to accommodate so much. Isn't that true in a way? Even from the perspective of the clergy, just like that bishop, we try to be accommodating. Be short so that, don't worry, it's not going to be an extremely long homily, but we accommodate. We try to kind of ease the pain of the people that come to worship. And that's so wrong in so many ways. The readings today, I'm sure Deacon Jesse, myself, any preacher, when we look at readings and the liturgy for the day, you always can go in so many different directions. If you read my bulletin article for this Sunday, I take kind of like the rejection that Jesus experiences from his hometown, from people that know him and he knows. And that's the obvious topic today. You have kind of a secondary topic there as well at the end. That last line of the gospel today, he was amazed at their lack of faith. And we could talk about that. And you could go in those two directions, but the more I prayed about the readings today, I saw something that sometimes it's the obvious that we miss. It's right there, but we're going with the themes that are being developed. And the obvious in the gospel today is that Jesus was at the synagogue. He was a worshiper. He went to pray to his Father. He continuously and consistently and persistently and faithfully went to pray. I remember the first time I've had the blessing of going to the Holy Land several times, and I remember the first time I went to the Holy Land, what struck me right from the beginning, and I have shared this with you before, was getting to Galilee. See, Galilee is in the northern part of Israel. It's a beautiful area of Israel. When you go there, you say, no wonder God wanted to be born here. It's a beautiful landscape, beautiful place. And as we were getting to Galilee, the guide, she was Jewish, but she was guiding the tour, the pilgrimage, and she pointed at a mountain and she said, "That's the mountain where Jesus used to go up to pray." That hit me. You know, that notion that this is not just a nice story that we talk about, but that it really happened. Our Lord walked up that mountain. Sometimes he spent the whole night in prayer. Jesus was a faithful Jew. He went to the synagogue. Today we find him preaching in the synagogue, but think, for 33 years, he went consistently to the synagogue. Every year, since he was a child, his family would take him to Jerusalem for Passover. He would go to the temple, and that was not kind of like going to the quarter. A trip from Galilee to Jerusalem, it was like 5 days journey. They had to plan, they had to struggle through the journey, but faithfully they went there. And I kept thinking, every Saturday, Jesus went to the synagogue. His family was a faithful Jewish family. He was a faithful Jew. They paid the tithe. They gave their donation to the church. And I'm sure that they gave whatever they had to give. Anything less would have been like a bad tip. And he lived like that. He understood that. And I kept thinking, here's the Son of God going to the synagogue. Can you imagine how many bad homilies he heard? Think about it. How many times, I know Deacon Jesse and myself, we struggle and we try to really develop our homilies and think about them and pray about them. But it's not always easy. Sometimes you really don't do the job you wanted to do. And you feel it within yourself. And can you imagine how many times